Well, it's 10:30 p.m. The news just got started. Good evening and welcome to Newsline on Metro TV. We're live on DSTV channel 277, also streaming live on Facebook at Metro News and on Twitter at Metro TV GH. I am Moro Awudu. Coming up this evening, calls intensify for security officers who shot at a crowd of protesters at Ejira Sechedumase to be punished. Meanwhile, police begins investigations into the killing of 2 of the protesters today. We'll bring you the latest on the security situation in the area. Meanwhile, the ex-president John Dramani Mahama is calling for calm and speedy investigations into the happenings at Ejira Sechedumase. All these and more coming up on Newsline. Newsline is always brought to you by Delta Paper, producers of Flora, disposable tissue. Newsline will be right back.
Logo the bottom. Where you say 80 local channels na mo and so pictures near clear. E 5 times better. As other channels that could be sure. So when I mention someone tell me why. Oh, what the pictures.
Who knows tomorrow?
What a picture. What do AD plus decoder or multi TV and now electroland agent PR natural local channels now HD the here so better
star 879 hash
numbers from computer box and now the activate AD channels now.
Get an HD Plus decoder from now till the 9th of August for just $89.99 Ghana cedis and enjoy 3 months free subscription. Enjoy all the excitement and live sports action in the HD Plus Air Bosso Fili promo lasts from 7th June to 9th August 2021. Visit hd-plus.com.gh or call 024-243-9872 for more info.
Half a nose for good things.
Now, welcome back to the program. And now to our first story, where 2 persons have been confirmed dead at the Ejira Government Hospital, while 4 others who sustained gunshot injuries during a protest in Ejira are in critical condition. Now, the 3 other relatives of the deceased have also collapsed and are receiving treatment. The protest was sparked by the killing of a social media activist, Ibrahim Mohammed, popularly known as Kaka, in the community. Our Ashanti regional correspondent, Abdul Basis Suleiman, has filed this report, read to you.
Angry youth stormed the street of Ejira to demand justice over the murder of Ibrahim Mohammed, popularly known as Kaka, a social media activist. The situation got out of hand when the protesters blocked the major street and marched towards the police. In the heat of the moment, the police fired several gunshots towards the crowd, leading to the death of 2 persons. In an interview with the medical superintendent of Ejira Government Hospital, Dr. Mensa Mayi indicated that the first person was brought in dead, while the second person died few minutes after he was rushed to the hospital.
2 died instantly. 1 died before arrival and 1 were resuscitated when he died. The other 4, they are also severely injured with the thigh bone fracture or the femur bone. Multiple fractures of the femur, that's the thigh bone. A lot of hematoma bleeding. So we are organizing blood and also resuscitating them with the infusions.
The Kontihini of Ejura expressed worry about the killing of his indigents by the security personnel who were supposed to rather protect the people. He, however, called on the youth to remain calm.
We still want peace to reign. They can't kill our people. They kill them. You understand? And then, I don't know. I just came, so I need to find out. I'm going to the hospital to find out what happened and to see whether they are dead or they are alive.
A brother of one of the deceased and other aggrieved youth of Ejura also spoke to Metro News.
I will blame MCE first. Why saying I will blame MCE first? Since he came, he became an MCE in this town. We never had a peace. Because of him, I stopped politically. I was making politics. But because of him sending people to kill somebody, sending people to destroy somebody, that is why I stopped.
The families of the deceased have since claimed the bodies of the two for burial in line with Islamic principles.
The Public Relations Office of the Ashanti Regional Police Command has been addressing the media on the police investigations into the matter. Here is Assistant Superintendent of Police, Godwin Ahianyo.
Enra echi yenyaneti ese bema bia ye friend no Ibrahim Isaka alias Anyas no fenchemi Muhammad Ibrahim alias Kaka ebimu abono manipra mo nako konfanochuma na ya nyamedia investigation mu ana yenya nipa mienu Fuseni Al Hassan ene Ibrahim Isaka alias Anyas echi won edom call Mampong Divisional Police Commander omo custody na investigation mu ana ende omo yese omo kwakosie Kaka no basa ye bi ebaye ema Kroma no clash with the military and the police because the security officers no. Unfortunately, nimpa mienu efe muhro onkwa. Edia amaya ye Nasiru Yusuf ena Mutala Suraj. Ibumu nso inties trese omepepra. Ni nyina no ye mu hwehwemu police command no we say assure general public ne say nhwehwem bia say ye bia bebi etuo no fi ba ye whoever's fired and baby nimpa free mu na de nyina say ye bia ye beye na ye nua na we free mu no nso na ebimu ka say oye a member of Face the Country movement obi mi so a journalist say a journalist so say a member of Face the Country ni nyina no the best subjected to investigations into yegusu ayeye eno so Mesan so asre se military for no fi enura e na omebeka ye hu e wa ha no mo anupe omose mba ya ye baka se be sure se na boni bia enkwankosi e na ekofa asa abasa ye e de ba ye nti kakra meka se obi bia information bia obetum dia man na aboa yen e wo saa asemhwehwe mu no oni omedane ma police na so be search osrofo se wuti bibia se na obeka no one sheni na say one cross check o fact enya information very well obi odi be beto abonte wo no akwa insight timenufo no tie besre say wo information bi a wo de fa bedane ye wo hia bibi nso na say e kire wadwe a wo de be ka kire police fo no wo ka kire yan a ne say ye bia ye be sure say kronu maye a safer place for all of us no be ye ti ye be gina kwanya nso ya ma busuafo ya akọ ya ka kire on say yenua na we free mu no ono bibia we free me bia no nhwehwema ye be ye no e be make sure say justice is served edamase military lieutenant penimba kone ni mpala ne bae ebobo ebo ne nine when you can say there e ka say is responding to treatment.
Well, in a related developments, the former president, John Dramani Mahama, is calling for calm and speedy investigations into the happenings at Ejura, Dumase. This is contained in a statement signed by him, as has been displayed on your screen now, and it says, I add my voice to calls for calm following the shooting to death of 2 persons and the injury to many in Ejura today, following the murder of youth activist Ibrahim Kaka Mohammed I have just seen a video of the firing of live ammunition into a crowd by persons wearing military attire after the burial of the murdered youth activist. I urgently call on President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to initiate an immediate de-escalation of the situation in Ejura. There must be a very thorough investigations of both the murder of the youth activist and the security rules of engagement, which resulted in the shooting to death of the two others. My thoughts and prayers are with the family and victims and the Ejura community. All right, we can now connect with Abdul Batis Suleiman. He's our Ashanti regional correspondent, and he's joined us live to give us more on happenings in Ejura. Good evening, Abdul Basit. What can you report as far as the present state of security in the area is concerned?
Good evening, my brother. I must say this evening, to be precise, the town of Ejura is very calm. Calm has returned in the main street of Ejura this evening. The police command has launched investigation into the incident, the circumstances that led to the killing of the two protesters this evening. And at the same time, they are also investigating the murder of Ibrahim Mohammed Kaka at the regional police command. As I intentionally had a stroll within the community this evening just to see if there has been some groupings around the street, but it's absolutely quiet this evening.
Now, we have sadly heard about the demise or the death of two more people. What happened? I mean, how their families reacting to this? And more importantly, who are these people?
Actually, this afternoon, after the burial of Ibrahim Mohammed, when the youth were returning from the cemetery, they met military and police personnel with their armored vehicle along the major street, trying to disperse the crowd from the street. And the youth resisted the security and started pelting stones on the security. All of a sudden, two military pickups came to the scene and started firing into the crowd. That led to the death of the two protesters. Actually, one was pronounced dead before getting to the hospital, but the moment they got to the hospital, 10 minutes time, the other also died at the hospital. So far, 2 persons have died, and whilst 4 are in critical condition at the drug government hospital. But this evening, I had an information that one had been transferred to the Konfanochi for further treatment. I interacted with the family members, particularly the chief of the Gomba of this community, who happens to be the grandfather of one of the deceased. According to him, the security personnel were called in to come and protect them, not to come and kill them, but rather when they came, instead of them to protect them, they are rather firing on them, which according to them is not the best. They are appealing to the President Akufo-Addo to step his foot down to ensure that justice is done to the family members who lost their life.
Right. What more responses have you gathered from the youth in the area? Are they okay with what has happened so far? The fact that they've been arrested, and so they are prepared to allow sleeping dogs to lie, or they are planning something else?
Initially, I spoke with some of them who told me directly that they will retaliate the death of these 2 persons. But later on, after they were buried, the 2 have been buried this evening. After they were buried, I understand the place has been so quiet to the extent that you will not know what someone is thinking of. So we are looking up to tomorrow morning to see the atmosphere again. But right now, as I'm speaking with you, there are a team of armed police and military personnel at the district police command, which is on the main Ejura Atebobo main highway. The moment you get there, you see the presence of the military and police over there. But walking through the other streets of Ejura, there is absolutely calm.
All right, good job, Abdul Basit Suleiman. Thank you very much for connecting with us here in Accra. Have a good night.
Yeah, welcome, my brother.
Abdul Basit Suleiman is our Ashanti regional correspondent who's been on the ground to bring us up-to-the-minute updates on your news station, Metro TV. Stay tuned in. This is NewsLine. My name is Moradu. We're going to be taking a short break. When we come back, there's more coming up on this program. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Now, residents of Doyumo in the Shai Osudoko district of the Greater Accra region want their poor roads to be fixed. The youth are threatening to block the road to register their displeasure over shoddy work and 6 years of delay in constructing the road. Metro TV's correspondent Samuel Asamoah report is read to you.
For the past 6 years, several attempts have been made to construct the only road linking Doyumu to other communities within the Shai Hills area, but to no avail. The road has rather deteriorated. The youth are threatening to block the roads if authorities do not call the contractor to order.
It's very bad. Since then, 50 Ayikuma Ebesian for Doyumu Junction. Road near very bad. Yeah, kasa, still we don't see any improvement.
Some taxi drivers also spoke to Metro News about their difficulties.
We want this road to be fixed immediately. You see, immediately. Otherwise, the necessary action will be taken against the government or the road contractor.
Madam Comfort Asrifi, a businesswoman, could not hide her frustration.
Your friend is a yes, your friend is a president. And to a
Assemblyman for the Abiete area spoke to Metro News.
Let's come together as one people to let this our community to move on. Not is about everything about fight. That will not help the community. Like the way Highways is saying, if we have challenge on the road, let's put on writing, send the letter to Highways. Even when they want me to lead them or they'll give the letter to me, I'll waste my more money to buy a fuel, send a letter, and I'll bring them to come and explain what they are doing. If it's shoddy, they'll demolish it for we to get our peace in the community, because I know past about 20 years, we don't have road in this community.
Samuel Asamoah reporting for Metro News.
Well, members of the Ashaman Municipal Assembly and some youth of Ashaman are up in arms against the Tema Development Company, that's TDC, for illegally selling the lands that belong to the community. The assemblymen and the youth are calling on the TDC to respect the Local Government Act and allow the Ashaman Municipal Assembly to issue permits based on its local development plan.
The youth allege that there are plans by the Tema Development Corporation to sell the community park to the Methodist Church. They say the Starlight Park has nurtured a lot of football talent and they will not allow it to be sold. On Tuesday, the youth and assemblymen moved to the Starlight Park in red bands to demonstrate against the decision by the TDC. Chairman of the Development and Planning Subcommittee at the Shaman Municipal Assembly, Godwin Chimeze, spoke to Metro News.
We are going to see the benefit corridor. They've given us some assurances that they are going to release some of the public spaces for us. We want to see documentation.
Amongst the demonstrators are some pastors who say they are not in support of the sale of the park to the Methodist Church.
Things are tough for the boys. They will come here and come and train. We have a Herbalife, Keep Fit Club. Here we do training every day from Monday to Saturday. I am one of them. Then this is the only park that be able to serve the community. Serve us. They want to sell it. We are not in support of it.
Some of the youth also spoke to Metro News.
We will not sit down for TDC to take out all the lands from us. This is the recreational park that we have, which help the boys to meet and release their tension.
The TDC has in a press statement stated that it has planned to engage with a Shaman Municipal Assembly to resolve the matters.
Now, some squatters on lands of Pantang Hospital have revealed that they are ready to vacate the premises of the hospital after the health officials on Monday commenced an indefinite strike action. This comes after demands by the staff of the hospital for the government to construct a wall around the hospital and remove persons encroaching lands belonging to the hospital. Elvis Andor has the rest of the story.
Health workers at the Pantang Hospital say they will not relent in their quest to have encroachers of their lands removed. Staff at the hospital have complained about robberies and other attacks they face at the hands of land guards. The General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association at Pantang, Dr. Alex Owusu, said staff of the facility will not return to their post until the appropriate action is taken to get the encroachers off their lands.
We've seen private developers come within that wall and put out their own private structures. We've seen slums develop around all these places, and these are people we don't know. We've had instances when cattlemen have moved in with their cattle to graze and attacked some of our security men and threatened them. We are saying that we've had enough. We've had enough of the promises, we've had enough of the meetings. What we want now is we want to see action. We want to see the hospital walls, we want to see all these strange structures demolished, and we want to see all the squatters move from within the hospital.
In an interview with Metro News, some nurses shared their frustration having to work under such unfavorable conditions amidst the insecurity it comes with.
Demarcate the Pantang Hospital now. We cannot work amidst land guards. Our lives are in danger. We are doing a risky job by taking care of mental ill patients. And now, the land guards has taken over the environment. And it looks as if there's nothing, you are doing nothing about it.
So until the wall is put around the hospital, for every staff in this hospital to feel safe, we are not coming to work. Until the police personnel are put 24/7 on this compound, we are not coming to work. Our lives matter.
Metro News caught up with some residents at the hospital lands, and they told the news team how they have acquired the place of abode from a self-acclaimed landlord for 300 Ghana cedis. Some squatters say they are willing to vacate the land following the demonstration.
Maraku efuero mibia ayo kwene miba mi nojita ho galemiashi Maraku ho 3 million amaglonyara kanemi ota 5 million sesembo be mi jola fiata amaglonyara kanemi.
So now that you are being asked to go, when do you intend to go?
Maraku na like majita pa na mokpota pa kwa
abi also na ye landlord fe bra Aaron yeah nti ube hu ne before obetu yaska before obeba nti ye hu no no se metu ya 300 cedis na me dia besi so for a way so about catch me say Pantang for asas o modern man say on hwe so nti say any baby e di covers ye be share de betimi ayafa ho.
Metro News will follow up this story keenly and bring you up to speed on any development after.
Now, the Executive Director of the Alliance for Social Equity and Public Accountability, Mensa Thompson, claims that the set committee report, which served as basis for the abrogation of the GPGC contract, was non-existent. According to him, the former Energy Minister, Boakye Jako, the former Attorney General, Gloria Kufu, and the Attorney General, Godfred Yabua Dame, should be duly investigated for their negligence in this judgment debt. He says he suspects foul play in the termination of the GPGC EPA contract, which has led to the $170 million judgment debt incurred on the nation.
The evidence seems to point to a deliberate attempt, perhaps a conspiracy, to create this judgment debt and perhaps possibly benefit from it. And that is why we have stated that clearly in our petition, that we want the police to find out if there were financial considerations or some financial motivation in this transaction, that maybe these officials were motivated by some money they could benefit from GPGC, and that is why they allowed this matter to travel this length and incur this huge cost. Because who would choose paying $18 million to a company? Who would choose paying $170 million to a company over $80 million? We are saying that these $170 million should be shared between these three individuals, Mr. Godfred Dame, Boakye Jako, and Madame Gloria Kufu. They should be the one paying this $170 million and not the people of Ghana. In terms of credibility, don't believe anything Godfred Dame says. You see, how quick Mr. Godfred Dame went to town to start pointing fingers at people even makes him suspicious of the conspiracy to defraud this country. It turns out that the chairman of that review committee, Mr. Ahenkra, went to the International Court, sat on oath, and gave evidence that he did not recommend to anybody to terminate the contract. Nobody is going to go scot-free on this judgment debt. It's not going to happen. Somebody somewhere is going to be held liable for this judgment debt.
All right, so this is where we end tonight's edition of Newsline. A quick recap of our major stories. Calls intensify for security officers who shot at a crowd of protesters at Ejura Seche Dumase to be punished. Meanwhile, police begins investigations into the killing of 2 of the protesters today. We brought you the latest on the security situation in the area. We also heard from the former president, John Dramani Mahama, who's calling for calm and speedy investigations into the happenings at Ejura Seche Dumase. We want to thank Delta Paper, we're producers of Flora Disposable Tissue, for making it possible for us to bring you Newsline. I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself. My name is Moro Audu. Remember, the news never sleeps. Have a good night.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Kids say the darndest things.
One platform, many talents.